Our Technical Manual 55-277, War Department Technical Manual, Operation Railroad Maintenance of Signals, War Department, June 1945, Warren Department, Washington 25, D.C. 14 of June 1945, Technical Manual 55277, Operation Railroad Maintenance of Signals is published for the information and guidance of all concerned. AG 330-7, May 23, 1945, Order of Secretary of the War, J. Ulio, Major General, the Adjutant General, and G.C. Marshall, Chief of Staff. Distribution, refer to FM 21.6 for explanation, distribution formula. War Department Technical Manual 55277, Operation of Railroad Maintenance of Signals. War Department Contents. General, Chapter 1, General, Section 1, Purpose and Scope, Section 2, Railroad Signal, General, Power Supply for Signal Systems, Pole Lines and Signal Security Circuits, Theaters of Operations. 3, Definition, Signal Terms. 4, Definite Duties of Personal Signal Communication Engineer, Railway Signal Maintenance Superintendent, Signal Maintenance Supervisor, Signal Mechanics, Railway. Alright, Chapter 2, Signal Maintenance Rules, General Rules, Automatic Block Signals, Interlocking Track Circuits, Pole Lines, Power Supply, Inspection, Tests, and all signs equipment, all signaling system equipment, interlocking tests, inspection, testing, signal transmission lines, Index to Rules. Chapter 1, General. Chapter 1, General. Section 1, Purpose and Scope. The purpose of this manual is to guide signal maintenance section for the Railway Operating Battalion for the other signal maintenance personnel of the War Department of the Railroads. War Department railroads include all military railroads or railroad companies being operated by the War Department and utility railroads serving the War Department installation. 2. Scope. This manual describes the basic type of the railroad signaling devices, explaining the operation functions set forth for the proper maintenance, if the list of terms and definitions of common railroad signaling, and defines the duties and responsibilities of signal maintenance personnel. Section 2, Railroad Signaling, General. A railroad signal is operation of the railroad switches to establish routes and control of the signal's direct authorization train movement. The purpose of the railroad signal system is to transmit information to a personnel operating of the train and to ensure safety, to prevent collisions, to avoid derailments due to open switches, broken rails, and other hazards. B. Signals increase operating efficiency by permitting the higher speed with attendant safety by reducing the number of the train stops and delays. The factors shorten the scheduled time between the stations, increasing the track capacity and allowable maximum utilization of power. The types of signaling equipment by which above the objective is accomplished include interlocking block signaling, centralized traffic control, cab signaling, automatic train control. Signal devices such as highway crossing bells, lights, gates, and various types of barriers are used to grade crossing, warning pedestrians, vehicle drivers approach for the trains at such crossing. Alright, D. Signal equipment may be controlled also, therefore, by special devices to protect the train from other hazards, such as equipment dragging under the trains, rocking, falling on the track, mud, snow, sliding of the track, water rising on the dangerous level under the bridges adjacent with the embankments, girders and spans shifting with reference to piers, abutments, bridge piers settling out of alignment, fires on the bridges, trestles, or in timberland line tunnels. When any other device is actuated hazardous condition in the controls, the automatic block and interlocking signals are so effective to cause restrictive aspect of the signal to be displayed. Special markers on the signals or instructions in timetable inform operating personnel of the type of the hazardous existence. Semaphore light signals are used for the almost exclusion of the various system of the train signal. At the daytime indication, semaphore signals are governed with the position of semaphore blade. Night indications are transmitted with the color lighted. A fixed lamp on the semaphore mast shines through the colored glass surrounds with the form of the part of the movable semaphore unit. In general practices, a red light is displayed within the blade in a horizontal position, yellow light is in 45 position, and a green light when blade is vertical. The light signal indications both day and night are given with the colored lights. The aspect of the signal in which the engine man sees the views of the position of the sophomore blades with the colored lights and relatively arrangement. Each aspect of its name given the rule number. The indication tells the engine man what he is to do with the control movement of this train in accordance with the expected display. For power supply for the signaling system, the operational equipment and control arrangements in the modern signaling system are energized with electrical power that, within the exemption of the pneumatic pressure, is used for the operating electro-pneumatic signal, and switches and hand-powered is operated with the operating mechanical interlocking. Air pressure is for the operating electro-pneumatic type is provided with the air compressor-driven electric motors. Basic principle of all the railroad signals is that failure to power supply will result in the most restrictive aspect of the signal being displayed. B. When electric power is secured from the outside of the source, the batteries are used with the standby power to ensure the continuous operation in case of the power line failure. If the power fails, the battery automatically take up the load. Signal systems are operated with alternating or direct current. When alternating current signal equipment is used for the power, it is secured with the utility line, but the current is passed from through the line transformer to secure the voltage required for the signal apparatus. The voltage required varies widely depending on the type of the apparatus used. 2. When direct current signaling equipment is used, the power is secured with the alternating current source, but the current is passed with the rectifiers, transforming it into direct current. The direct current track circuits can be used on tracks equipped with electrical operated trains. Primary batteries are used for the source of the power for the operating of some signals. Primary batteries, one of which the electrical energy is produced with the chemical action between the dissimilar metals. When the operation of the elements are gradually consumed, when exhausted, must be replaced. Alright, 5. Pole lines and signal circuits. The majority of the signal system includes transmission lines along the railroad right of the way to distribution of electrical power. The system requires comparatively few lines and circuits. The wires sometimes run an additional cross arm placed on the poles. Existing lines are used with the primary communication circuit, but there are two serious objections for using existing communication lines with signal wires. The amount of power which is transmitted in the line becomes interference with the communication circuit. The communication wires may fail on the signal line, causing signal circuits interruption, resulting in false clear signal indication. Alright, 6. Theaters in operation. Normally few of any of the signal devices mentioned are available other than newly constructed, reconditioned military roads, and the theater's operation signal equipment may be installed with a subsequent time, but this seldom justified either by satisfactory or by more than expeditious operation. Existing signals should be utilized when available. Alright, Section 3, Definitions. 7. Signal terms. Knowledge of the following terms, definition essential maintaining signals so that they will display proper aspects in accordance with the track plan, signal circuit arrangement, and controlling devices. Automatic block signaling. Signal system in which the signals are operated with electro-pneumatic or other agencies upon actuation by a train or certain conditions restricting the use of the block, such as a broken rail or an open switch, or a car standing on the turnout valve of the main track. Automatic brake application. The application of the train brakes through the operation of the automatic train control device. Automatic interlocking signal device of the railroad grade crossing with operating automatically upon the approach of the train. Automatic train control devices which under certain conditions automatically make the brake application unit until the train has been brought to a stop, making the brake application until the speed of the train is reduced to a predetermined rate. When the rate is exceeded, they'll slow the train and stop it. Automatic train stop. Device in which will, under certain conditions, automatically make a brake application until the train has been brought to a stop. Block. Length of track defined by of limits. It is used by the trains to govern block signals. Block absolute. A block based on the principle that no train will be permitted to enter the block while occupied by another train. Block absolute permissive. Term used for automatic block signal or on a single track in which stop signals are used to open opposing movements between fixed positions, and stop and proceed signals are used for the following movements. Block permissive. Block and manual controlled manual territory based on the principle that no train will be admitted to the block when it is occupied by opposing train or passenger train. Block section. Section of the track of the defined length that use of which is regulated with a fixed signal entering the end of the double track at each end of the single track. A block signaling absolute system of block signaling based on the principle that no train will receive the signal for the block while occupied by another train. Block signaling permissive system of block signaling permitting one or more of the trains moving in the same direction to enter a block before the last preceding train has passed out of the block. Block system, a series of consecutive blocks. Block system automatic, a series of consecutive blocks and governed block signal cab signals are both activated by a train engine or certain conditions affecting the use of the block. Or your block system manual. Series of consecutive blocks that are governed by the block signal operated manually upon the information by telegraph, telephone, or other means for the communication. Centralized traffic control. Terms applied with the system railroad operation by means of which the movement of the trains over the routes through the blocks of the designated section, tracks and tracker tracks are authorized directed by signal control with the designated point within the requiring use of the train orders without superiority of trains. Circuit breaker. Device constructed primary for the interruption of the circuit under the infrequent abnormal condition. Circuit closed, a whole or complete electrical circuit. Circuit common return, circuit of the common return wires forms as a part. Circuit electrical, path of electric current. Circuit line, this term applied to signal circuit on an overhead or underground wire. Circuit open, incomplete electrical circuit. Circuit polyphase, circuit of one or more of the single phase. Circuit series, circuit in which the separate source of the separate electrical receptive devices are both or so placed that the current preceding it and going through it and passes successfully through the entire circuit. Circuit short, shunt circuit abnormally applied. Circuit shunt, low resistant connection across the source of a supply between it and operated unit. Circuit single phase, circuit energized with a single electromotive force. Alright, circuit three phase, combination of circuit energized by the alternating electromotive forces which differ in phases by 1/3 of a cycle. Circuit track phase, electrical circuit in which the rails of the track form a part. Term applied, circuit trap, a term applied with circuit used in a location where it is desirable to protect a section of track and where it is impractical to maintain a continuous track circuit. Alright, interlocking, arrangement of switch, lock, and signal appliances so interlock that the movements succeed each other in predetermined order and may be operated manually and automatic. Interlocking, electrical interlocking is which the units are operated with control by electricity. Interlocking, electromechanical interlocking, which a portion of the units are operated manually and the remaining portion is operated electrically. Interlocking, electro-pneumatic interlocking, in which the units are operated with compressed air and controlled by electricity. Interlocking limits tracks between home signals and interlocking machine. Absolute assembly of levers and locking in the frame of the connections arranged so that the levers can be moved and unlocked until only a certain predetermined order, so that the movement of the levers unlocking preparatory to the movement may be made to lock any of the other levers in the frame. Interlocking machines are designed to operate various kinds of interlocking. Lightning arrestor, device of protecting circuits and apparatus against lightning and other abnormal potential of short duration. Lock and block, a term commonly used for the control of manual block system. Lock drawbridge, electrical used for the connection with the drawbridge to prevent its operation until released. Lock facing point, mechanical lock for which switches, derails, and movable point frogs comprising a plunger which engages the lock rod attached to the switch points to lock the switch and other operated units in its normal reverse position. Lock rail drawbridge, mechanical device used to ensure the drawbridge relays between being the proper position for the movement of trains. Locking, mechanical arrangement of locking bars, dogs, and tappets, and cross-likings, other apparatus means with which the interlocking is effected between the levers and interlocking machines so interconnected that their movement must be supersede each other in predetermined order. Locking approach, electrical locking effectively while the train is approaching signal that has displayed for its adapted preventive manipulation leverage of units that may create unsafe conditions within the route lined up. Locking indication, electrical locking adopted to prevent manipulation of the levers that would bring out any of the unsafe conditions in an event with the signal switch or that have operated until units fails to make a movement corresponding with that of the operating lever or adapted directly to prevent operation of one unit in the event of another unit to being operated first if it fails to make any required movement. Alright, you're locking traffic electric. Electric locking adapted by the preventing manipulation of the levers units and changing the direction of traffic section to track while the section is occupied while the signal is displayed for the train proceeding with the section. Rectifier, a device transforming alternating current into direct current using a charging story batteries at low rates of charge. Alright, a relay, a device operated with the variation conditions of one electrical circuit to affect the operation of the other devices in the same as another electrical circuit. Signal, means of conveying information to the personnel in charge of the operation of train. Signal approach, fixed signal used for the connection with one or more signals to govern the approach thereto. Signal automatic, signal controlled automatically. Single block, fixed signal with the entry to a block to the governings entering the using of the block. Signal bridge supports the structure within spans of more than track of the purpose of supporting signals. Signal color light, a fixed signal in which the indications are given by color of the light only. Signal color position, fixed signal in which the indications are given by color and position of the two more distinctive color lights for each of the indications. Signal distance block, fixed signal used for the connection with the home block signal to govern the approach thereto. Signal distance switch, signal used to indicate the position of the points of one or more switches. Signal false clear. Improper aspiration signal given the errors indication not in accordance with the proposed intended. Signaling flashing light. Highway crossing signal with the indication which given by two horizontal red light flashing alternatively predetermined intervals. Signal forward position. Signal arrives to give the four different indications. Signal highway crossing. Electrical mechanically operated with a single use for the protection of highway traffic and railroad highway grade crossing. Signal home. A fixed signal attached fixed signal at the entrance of the block of the route governs the trains and engines entering the using of the block and route. Signal interlocking. Fixed signal of the interlocking. Signal mark light. Used to distinguish certain fixed signals. Signal Sephmore. A signal in which the day indicates which the day indications are given with by position of the inner arm. Signal 3 position. Signal arm arranged to give three different indications. Signal train order. Signal used to indicate to the train whether or not it will receive the orders. Signal 2 position. Signal arrangement to give different indications. Signal on wigwag. Highway grade crossing signal with the indication which is given with a horizontal swinging disc or without red light attached. Alright, Section 4, duties of the personnel. 8, signal for the communication engineer, direct supervisor, operation, installation, maintenance, signals, communication for the military railroad service, CTO and E55302. Railway signal maintenance superintendent, supervisor, installation, maintenance for the signal, telephone, telegraph facilities for the railway division, railway grand division, CTNO, or E55202. 10. Signal maintenance supervisor, direct supervisor, signal mechanics, signal maintenance, section railway operation battalion, T&O and E55227. In the installation maintenance for the railway signal, he will be responding for the safe condition maintenance of the signal interlocking with its assigned territory supervision personnel engaged thereupon. B. Making inspection facility apparatus for his responsibility. Investigating, reporting accident, unusual conditions which may affect the signal interference with the efficient, safe operation of trains. Confer with the train dispatcher, arranging with the proper time to perform any of the work attaching the train operation, keeping the on file complete signals with the plans for signal interlocking facilities maintained by the force and will provide with the signal mechanics with the necessary plan and instruction, examine instructions, signal man of any operation interlocking. Alright, 11. Signal mechanics railway. Under the direction of signal maintenance supervisor and signal mechanics, a reasonable inspection and adjustment of the proper maintenance of all apparatus assigned them will do no work that will affect operation of the trains unless the trains are properly protected. Make a permanent to be made any alterations, additions to signal apparatus for any circuits pertaining thereto only when authorized. Call the train and dispatcher in frequent intervals thereof out the data to certain conditions on the territory. Be responsible for the care of the use of the tools, material, and equipment necessary for the efficient performance of their work. Make those inspections when directed. Make such repairs and apparatus under the charge will ensure the proper operation. F. The inspection and signals and switch lamps are regularly designated intervals, keeping in close communication with the train dispatcher during several storms, severe storms, and cover the entire area as soon as practicable after the storm is over to make sure that all signal equipment is in safe operation condition. H. In case of accident damage of the signal apparatus, proceed with immediately to the point. Request such assistance material to be made required. Make the repairs properly. Make thorough investigation of every reported failure to determine the trouble and eliminate the cause. J. Reaching an understanding with the signalman on duty to ensure the safe operation when any of the work is to be done on to any interlocking which may affect the safe operation of the train. Leave the work only with when the apparatus has been operated and is now to be known to be safe working condition. Report the proper authority all defects and dangerous conditions observed. Chapter 2, Signal Maintenance Rules.